Multiband dynamics allow us to be very specific with our processing, applying dynamics processing only to the frequency ranges that need it, and this is the best mindset to approach them with. However, first step is understanding the controls. Here we've loaded up our multiband processor and our crossover points are set in the top graphic with metering to the right. Parameters for the currently selected band are in the main section below. We've loaded up a full drum beat, you'll find it in the tutorial files, with some prominent aspects, and we can fine-tune the settings to focus particular bands on these. So, first let's look at the crack on the snare, which is a little overbearing. By soloing band 3, we can hear it in isolation. Now we can zero in on the frequency of the crack by dragging the crossover points to create a narrow focus band between about 3 and 4 kHz. Now to apply compression to the crack band. For compression, we're looking at the processor 1 settings. We set a ratio of 4:1 and adjusted the threshold to get some gain reduction. We then tweak the crossover frequency slightly. Now let's lengthen the compressor's release and even out its response using the hold setting. Listening to a band in solo mode is useful, but you need to fine-tune the settings with all solo modes disengaged so that you can hear the band-specific compression in context. We do this now. One of the great things about multi-band processors is you can bypass bands completely, so that only a narrow frequency range is processed. We do this here for bands 2 and 4, leaving band 1 for the next step. We're using band 1 to compress just the kick in our loop. The process is much the same as the snare crack, and we're adjusting the crossover in solo mode to avoid encroachment on the lower snare frequencies. In addition to selecting suitable envelope settings, we've also used the graphic envelope options to fine-tune the knee shape, smoothing out the response. Finally, there are a couple of things we can do to the overall setup, such as adjusting the crossover type and slope. A steeper slope gives greater separation between the bands, is more accurate, but it can also be more obvious and sound unnatural, so tread carefully. We can also rebalance our band's individual levels without affecting their compression, using their band-specific output gains.